Huh. Take a peek at this puppy. Fruity Pebbles and Lucky Charms threaten to block healthy food labeling guidelines in court. And it looks like they're firing back. Saying it limits their free speech. Okay. The proposed FDA rule mandates that foods labeled as healthy must contain a major food group such as dairy, fruits, or whole grains and must fit certain limits on saturated fat, sodium, and added sugars. The rule limits cereals, for example, to no more than 2.5 grams of sugar per serving in order to be labeled healthy. A restriction food manufacturers claim would exclude over 95% of ready-to-eat cereals. Holy shit, yes. What? 2.5 grams of sugar? That eliminates every single major cereal in existence for being labeled healthy, which is great. That is good news. That's huge. It's about fucking time. I couldn't tell you the amount of people that for some reason are brainwashed into believing these fucking labels that their goddamn Frosted Flakes or whatever are healthy for them. It's nuts. That is long overdue. No, Raisin Bran is far from healthy. I never make that argument. Raisin Bran actually has more sugar than Captain Crunch. Or, Fruit Loops. Raisin Bran has like 29 grams of sugar per serving. It is not healthy. And I would never claim it is. But it's kind of high in fiber, so it gets you shitting pretty quick. Good to start your morning with. Thanks for some PT, Saren, and Zombie. And I just like the taste of Raisin Bran. Among the most vocal food companies are producers of high-sugar cereals which are largely marketed to children and have been criticized as a driver of the obesity epidemic in America. Because they are. I don't remember when it started, but the terms organic, healthy, all of that shit don't have any real meaning. Yet some parents don't know that, so they'll get their kids all that shit and then wonder why they put on 45 pounds in the last 3 months. These are resub Ginger, Cal, Ryan, and Hyperion. In a joint filing made last month, the largest cereal producers in the country, General Mills, Kellogg's, and Post Consumer Brands, decried the proposed nutritional criteria and threatened to file a lawsuit challenging the guidelines as a violation of corporate free speech rights. You absolute slimy worms. Corporate free speech rights to lie to consumers. We have a right to say whatever we want to sell our product. And how dare you try and strip that from us, even though it's a blatant lie. Thanks to the resub, Ezra. I'm actually surprised they didn't double down. Instead of calling their foods healthy, I'm surprised they didn't try and say, like, doctor recommended Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Number one pediatrician recommended Fruity Pebbles. Like, really go hog wild on trying to mislead people into thinking it's good for you. They did go hard on fortified for a while, saying it's fortified with crucial vitamins and minerals and all that. But I feel like they could have gone even more hog wild with it. You are just wrong. About what? Cereal's not healthy. I am so sorry to rip that band-aid off. What? I'm just wrong about what? I'm reading their lawsuit and the corporate free speech that they're arguing is being stripped from them. They can no longer lie to children and parents. What are you talking about? Thanks to the resub, Brandon. Cheerios in total isn't healthy? I don't know what total is. Cheerios, to my understanding, aren't bad. Honey Nut Cheerios are. Like, they taste great, but they're not, like, healthy. But I don't think they claim to be. I think just their normal Cheerios claim to be heart healthy. Which, again, is quite a statement to make on the box. What about protein cereals that cost like $8 a box? You're getting into these really fringe cereals I don't know about. I can't tell you which are healthy and what aren't of the ones you're listing. All I'm saying is I'm agreeing that 95% of these cereals would absolutely be wiped from the healthy label because they're not. Like, they're straight up not. The sugar that's present there isn't like natural sugars either most of the time. So you can't even make it the argument that, like, oh no, but what about the cereal with 30 grams of sugar, but it's all healthy sugars? Because that's never the case. Thanks the Prime Breath, the resub Zombie, Jahu, and the gift sub Snake. The rule, if finalized in its present form, the companies wrote, would be open to legal challenge in that it violates the First Amendment by prohibiting truthful, non-misleading claims in an unjustified manner and also exceeds FDA's statutory authority in several ways. It's so frightening that corporations can bully an organization whose sole goal should be the safety of the products that we consume on a daily basis. Prohibiting truthful, non-misleading claims, but that is the exact opposite of what these claims are. Slapping healthy on Fruity Pebbles is an affront to God. Fruit sugar isn't bad. Obviously not. Everyone knows fruits are high in sugar, but those are like actual good sugars. That's not what's found in cereal at all. It's not even close. And again, I'm talking about the major cereals, like the mainstream ones, your Cocoa Puffs, your Fruity Pebbles, your Fruit Loops, your Frosted Flakes, and all of that shit. Thanks to Prime, Aaron, Bushido, and the resub, Soy. What is this paragraph? The public comment docket includes a filing from the Washington Legal Foundation, a shadowy nonprofit that litigates esoteric and often controversial business interests. The group filed a letter in opposition in the form of a legal brief laying out a broad case for a future court challenge against the FDA guidelines. What the fuck is that? What the fuck? Interesting. They got their own little, like, under the table strong arm shadow org to fight. The organization contend that the healthy labeling requirements are an unconstitutional overreach of government power. Food companies, the Washington Legal Foundation argued, have constitutionally protected commercial speech rights covering their ability to use the term healthy to describe their added sugar products. This is terrifying. This is just scary. What the fuck? Exit Prime Twisted. Oh my god. Yikes. The FDA, the Washington Legal Foundation, wrote in its brief, cannot explain why consumers cannot make their own healthy decisions based on nutritional labeling data. Rather, it seeks to limit the food company's speech. Oh my god, it's like listening to someone cry victim on Twitter, but from a corporation. What are you talking about, man? You're just blatantly lying on your products. Obesity's on like an absolute astronomical come up, and you're slapping healthy on some of the foods that are a big contributor of it. What are you talking about? Maybe just stop fucking lying on the labels. You can't just say something's healthy without repercussions when it's exactly the opposite. That's so fucked. It's like selling cyanide capsules but calling it healthy. Well, I mean, obviously not. That's extremely exaggerated, but like, could you make that argument? I'm selling poison, but I want to call it healthy. You shouldn't be able to tell me I can't call this healthy because it's part of my free speech to call it whatever I want. So it's false advertisement. Well, it's beyond false advertisement. It is false advertisement, but it actually does extend beyond that. Because they've made an entire industry out of calling things like organic or healthy when it is not fucking healthy at all. It's actually extremely bad for you in most cases. Thanks to resub Odd and Code and Stinkiest and Francis. Isn't that why the FDA was created? Well, that's what I was saying. Yeah, like the whole purpose of the FDA is supposed to be to regulate and ensure the products that we consume are like safe. So the fact that they're calling it overreach when they're finally stepping in to say like, okay, this is very bad. You are literally harming the kids that are eating your cereal. It's time you stop calling it healthy so you stop lying to these families. And they're saying that that's overreach and an abuse of power, which is crazy. Oh, you won't see me like pumping my fist for the FDA. I think the FDA is super corrupt. But like I said, the core of it is supposed to be to protect consumers that, you know, eat these things on a regular basis. Like, the idea of it is supposed to be on our side. Of course, it's beyond corrupt. But the point is, they're finally doing something good here, and now the corporations are fighting back. The group does not disclose its donors and did not respond to a request for comment. In previous years, the Corn Refiners Association, a lobby group that represents the high fructose corn syrup industry, has disclosed financial ties to the Washington Legal Foundation. Can't believe that. Drug companies including Purdue Pharma, the makers of OxyContin, have used the Washington Legal Foundation to challenge government rules and establish legal precedent to reduce the ability for prosecutors to seek criminal charges for drug company executives. You love a story with some heroes you can root for, like the Washington Legal Foundation fighting for the little guys, like drug company executives. Fuck. So altruistic. Thanks to the resub Jack, Super Metal, and Super Cow. Have not tried Pizza Tower yet, but I do know about it. This is a crazy state. I did not. Alright, let's finish going through this and then we can move on to something else. The joint filing from cereal manufacturers not only scorn the labeling rules, but also argue that sugary cereals pose no health risks and are in fact beneficial to society and childhood health. Love that. What a great claim. Is the resub random in the tier 1 Mowgli? The company stated that they view the extremely strict guidelines as alarming because Cereal is one of the most affordable, nutrient-dense breakfast choices a person, adult, or child can make, with a wide range of options to suit different cultures, preferences, and tastes. Cereal companies claimed are Cereals, the companies claimed, are already recognized for nutritional benefits, given their inclusion in a range of federal programs that serve the nation's vulnerable populations, such as the Special Supplemental Nutrition Program for Women, Infants, and Children, and the National School Lunch Program. This is so foul. What the fuck? Isn't it just sugar? Yes. All of these mainstream cereals that they're arguing for are literally just sugars. Sugar on top of sugar on top of sugar, corn syrup. It's ridiculous. Thanks for the 5 gift subs, Mowgli. I really appreciate that. It's candy in the morning. It is. It is literally candy in the morning. And yet they're here with a straight face saying that it's nutrient dense. Well, it is one of the most nutrient dense breakfast choices a person, adult, or child can make. And saying that it poses no health risks and is actually beneficial to society and childhood health. That is so crazy. That is so crazy. I bet there is a very high likelihood that you could plot an increase in childhood cereal consumption with an increase in type 2 diabetes diagnoses, and make a very strong argument that cereal has been rapidly increasing not only obesity but also the diagnoses of type 2 diabetes. He's a tier 1 girth in the bits Dowland. Next, they're going to argue nutritional facts are unconstitutional. Yeah, we shouldn't have to say what's in our cereals. We shouldn't have to say what's in our food. It's to protect our right to privacy. Oh man, this is so fucked. How does this just keep getting worse? The company's charged that cereal delivers on nutrition when eaten alone, but when consumed as part of a breakfast, it elevates the nutrition further, with cereal eaters exhibiting an overall higher diet quality. As evidence, the filings cites a 2019 study conducted by in-house researchers employed by General Mills, the maker of Lucky Charms, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and Trix, among other brands. They're doing it again, right in front of our face. Do you guys remember? And I've talked about it a lot, but some of you might also remember. There was a period of time, not that long ago, like 25, 30-ish years ago, where the entire America, all of America, vilified fat. They said the fat in our food is making us fat. This is why we're getting obese, because of fat in our food. And sugar was actually looked at as the good guy. Those studies were paid for by companies like this that were trying to placate their responsibility for the contribution they played to the obesity epidemic and put all of it on top of fat. And they're doing it again right here in 2019, trying to make arguments that eating cereal actually helps eaters exhibit an overall higher diet quality, I guess. That's so crazy. Thanks to the resub Charizard in stack. Oh! The agency they wrote should recognize the beneficial role of sugar. Sugar plays a role in foods beyond palatability. It controls water activity, creates texture, adds bulk, and also contributes to flavor complexity. We are literally going back in time. Literally going back in time. They're trying to make sugar a hero again. Sugar is actually really good for you. It is healthy to eat 30 grams of sugar in the morning with our cereal. There's some Desmundo and the Prime Finnick. This is mind-boggling. This came out this month, by the way. In case anyone's confused on when this is and why I'm talking about it, this was this month, March 1st. March 1st. No cereal has 30 grams of sugar. Well, that's just a blatant lie. Raisin Bran actually has 29 grams. Let's see. Let me double check because I'm pretty sure it's one serving is 29 grams. If you do normal Raisin Bran, it's 18 grams, but if you do Raisin Bran Crunch, which is the more popular one, it is 20. Okay, I misremembered. I thought it was 29. Maybe I'm getting it mixed up with Captain Crunch. I think Captain Crunch was the one with the most sugar. Captain Crunch has... Why isn't it just bringing up the nutrition? Captain Crunch has 26. I was getting it mixed up with Captain Crunch. Per serving. Yep, per serving. Oh, wait. Well, hold on, wait. The 26 is with skim milk. Sorry. The one without is 18. It showed me the skim milk one first, but the one next to it is without, and that's 16. Check the graph of all cereal. Is there an all cereal sugar graph? Oh, there is. Whoa! What the fuck? Honey Smacks is on a different ball game. Honey Smacks, at least according to this, total sugar per 100 grams. 100 grams. Is that like a bowl? I don't know how big of a serving that is. I'm assuming they're going by like normal, like breakfast size would be my guess. How much is it? How big is 100 grams? It's about a cup. Okay. According to this, here, I'll bring it down. According to this, Honey Smacks comes in at the highest with 55.6 grams of sugar in one serving of 100 grams. And if I'm to believe chat, one cup is 250 grams, so it's less than a cup. How? What? There's no way one cup is 250 grams. What the fuck are you talking about? Why am I reading like the people that are wrong? There's no way. Oh, no, what? You're right. 240. Okay, so it's not a cup at all. It's actually significantly less than a cup. I'm assuming the reason they chose 100 grams is because they must have calculated that this is like the normal serving size that an average American is going to be eating of a cereal. I'll just give them the benefit of the doubt. Most serving sizes are bullshit anyway. Yeah, serving sizes are notoriously, like, unrealistic. For example, peanut butter serving size. I don't know how many of you know what a normal peanut butter serving size is, but it's, like, literally not even, like, a full, like, it's not even enough to cover your whole bread half the time. It's shockingly low in pretty much all of these serving sizes that are listed on the back. Thanks to the resub Crest and Waffle and Crub. But yeah, it seems Honey Smacks is the most. Cocoa Krispies, then Cookie Crisp, then Fruit Loops, Frosted Flakes. I don't know what the fuck Frozen is. Cheerios coming in pretty aggressively. Kellogg's dominates the sugariest cereals. I'm surprised Raisin Bran's not on here. I thought Raisin Bran would have absolutely been one of their highest performers. It's weird that it's not, so this must be using something else to calculate, because Raisin Bran would be somewhere in here, right around Frosted Flakes and Frozen. Because it's by weight. Is that it? Maybe you're right. This was just the first thing that came up when I looked it up. What's this one? I can't read that at all. What about this? Looks like they're all doing 100 grams. Thanks to the resub Crest. The milk alone provides a shit ton of sugar. Yeah, but even if it's just dry, it's still a ton of sugar. Because 100 grams makes calculating the sugar percentage easy. Oh, I guess that would make sense. Okay. Independent research, however, have found that diets high in processed foods and sugar intake are linked to obesity, diabetes, higher risk of stroke, obesity-related cancers, hypertension, and dental diseases. You don't say. You're telling me that the research that wasn't paid for by the actual sugar-producing cereal company said something totally different? That I just can't believe. This was fascinating. This was very interesting. Holy shit. Thanks to the resub Coincidence and the Prime Eden. It's not meant to be healthy. I don't know why you're saying that. The whole thing is they slap healthy on these foods. They're labeling it healthy as a marketing tactic, and now those days are over thanks to the new FDA ruling, and they're flipping their shit and are now saying, no, our foods are in fact healthy, and you're stepping on our constitutional corporate free speech right to lie to consumers. It is literally supposed... They are literally claiming that it's supposed to be healthy, and are saying it is healthy. There is a statement in here, point blank, that says sugar is good for you, basically. Where was that? That one was crazy. Oh, here. Should recognize the beneficial role of sugar. Is a tier 1 easy in the resub virtually? It's probably healthy if eaten in moderation or in conjunction with exercise. Brother, everything in moderation's fine. Literally everything. But it doesn't make it healthy. Because it's not, and it shouldn't be able to make the claim that it is. He's a Prime Hostile. And the Gifts of Diabetes. And the Prime Johnson. Just make tastier, healthier foods, you food science nerds. Yeah, fair. I am surprised we don't have like tastier, healthy like cereals. Like I like Magic Spoon, but like that's the only one I can think of that's like a healthier cereal option. Like I feel like it'd be a bigger industry. I've never heard of Miracle Berry, but I've seen like 4 or 5 people shout Miracle Berry because of the cost. True, the healthier options are more expensive usually. The reason these are so cheap is because it's all basically the same corn derivatives and corn syrups over and over and over again. This is the Prime Young, the resub Suicide, and Bits Teachon. It's gotten pretty popular recently, Teachon. Thanks to Tier 1. Stoicrise. Crazy how people out here trying to manufacture a healthy breakfast alternative when we literally have fruit. Yeah, I mean, fruit's good, but you could. I'm sure there's a way to make more healthy cereal options as well, right? Like fruit in and of itself isn't like a complete breakfast. But yeah, I mean, fruit's great. Thanks to the Prime Elon, the 5 gift subs Juan, and the resub Tube in Mongin, the Bits Merlin, the resub Brudini. Is oatmeal healthy? Yeah, assuming you're not dumping like brown sugar and shit in it. Yeah, of course it is. Yeah, of course they still sell those, Teachon. Thanks to resub Axel. Who the fuck thinks fruits are healthy? They're literally nature's candy. They aren't that healthy. It's a big misconception. What? I mean, for certain fruits, you're right. There are certain fruits that just aren't that healthy, but on the whole, they are like actually healthy. Like, it's good that you have an eye to like, hey, some of these aren't great, but it's not all of them. Far from it. I think you've fallen into that trap of like they're high in sugar, thus have to be bad. Because most sugar that you consume on a daily basis, like cereal, are bad sugars. But fruits, that's a very different kind of fructose. Thanks for the big tier 3, Haywood. I really appreciate that. Thank you, Haywood. Welcome aboard. Isn't it because fruits' sugars are easier to process? Well, even just let's extend the lens beyond the sugars. Yeah, they're usually simple sugars, but like even more than that, they also offer other things as well. For example, off the top of my head, another good one that they offer is fiber, depending on what fruit you're eating. Like they come with other things as well, as opposed to just eating sugar. They have vitamins, they have things like fiber. Bananas even have like some protein to them as well, which is nice. Like you get more than just sugar. Thanks to the Prime, Aaron. What's the least healthy fruit in your opinion? The least healthy? Ooh, that's an interesting question. It'd have to be grapes, right? I feel like it has to be grapes. I, I can't think of another one. Any dried fruit. What? I think he's just talking about like general, normal, mainstream like fruits that you'd get at the supermarket, not like getting like packaged dry fruits or something. Because then you could easily cheat. You could say all kinds of different things. I think he's just talking about like a. You go to the supermarket. Here's some fruits. You got your standard apple, oranges, all that. I think it'd have to be grapes. There's the 5 gift subs. Super Lorden, thank you for that. Grapes have fiber. I'm not saying they're like bad for you overall or anything. I just out of most fruits, I would have to imagine that'd be the least healthy option. Ooh, grapefruits is a good answer. I hate grapefruits. I think they're completely inedible. But are they bad for you? Let's take a peek. Oh, actually, no. They're actually like super high in vitamin C, and also, relatively speaking, pretty low in like their sugar as well. So actually, no, they're not bad for you. But I fucking hate grapefruit. I can't eat them. They actually make me sick. What about those Cheerios that are like blueberry or strawberry banana? I don't even know what Cheerios you're talking about. I'm gonna venture a guess saying probably not good for you since it's General Mills or Kellogg, whoever makes cereal. Thanks a resub clog. Pomegranates are great too. I do like pomegranates. Thanks to the resub twist. The unhealthiest among others are mangoes. Is that right? Let's take a peek. I thought mangoes were really good for like helping with inflammation and shit. Like, oh my god, one single mango has 46 grams of sugar. Holy fuck, that puppy is packing. But it's like absolutely loaded with vitamin C and B6. Jesus. Yeah, mangoes do slap. I'm a big mango fan. He's a tier 1 Super Lorden, and the Prime Rob, and the resub Voidwalker.